Hello everyone, my name is Adrian and welcome to my go-to reformer session. I'm going to start with footwork springs for me. So on a day you have zero energy, I'd suggest you go a little lighter. So choose 3 or 4 springs for you and then we'll get ourselves onto our back. So safely, you know the deal, come on down, roll onto your side, roll onto your back and just settle in for a moment. So you want your head heavy on that headrest. You want the ribs heavy on your carriage, as is the pelvis. And then those heels are about 6 inches apart. And let's place those hands on the sides of the ribs for that lateral breath. So let's breathe in. And let's breathe out. So we want to try and get those sides of the ribs to move. So take a breath in. And a breath out. Can we do that one more time? And breathing out. I'm just going to remove this towel because I want to go into a bridge. My shoulders are slightly away from the blocks. I'm going to reach my arms long to the sides. You can even turn the palms facing your body. And let's just start to lift the hips up and lower the hips down without clenching anything. Sending the knees over the toes. My hypermobiles out there, just remember not to arch your back at the top. So we're lifting up and coming down. Trying to keep your carriage still. Obviously, the lighter your springs, the more you might want to cramp in those hamstrings. On the next one, let's settle in. Flex through those feet, take a breath, and as you exhale, slide that machine away and then draw yourself back in. Maybe place those hands onto your pelvis, checking in for your neutral. Keeping the ribs soft and open. Are both knees straightening at the same time? Think about that. Breathing out, breathing in. Push away, let's come down to those toes. Now lift those heels slightly and bend those knees in and out. So the foot stays still as we move. So we don't want those heels to lift and lower. Working through the function in the ankle. And then let's put those heels together. The knees are going to be about the width of your armpits as we do this. Have that inward pressure on the heel, getting those adductor muscles to work. Just pretend you didn't hear me bashing into my stopper then. Push away and hold. Now let's take that shape up a bit. So I'm on my heels still, I'm in that nice turnout. And we're going to keep going. Let's scissor those inner thighs together, wrapping the hip rotators round as we do this. Maybe you're breathing out, maybe you're breathing in as you take that carriage away. Push away to straight, walk your heels wide. I'm just going to look up for a moment and check that I am in a equal width on either side here, and I'm turned out naturally. And then I'm going to reset. Let's go. Pressing away, coming back in. I quite like the mobilization of the hip here. This is something I learned ages ago, and I quite like it. So you're going to push away. Roll in, inward rotation, the internal rotation, then external rotation as you push away. So we pivot on those heels. The movement comes from inside that pelvis. Think of the ball and socket. And now let's go the other way. Very interesting move. I quite like it. And then push out to straight. Walk those toes back to the middle. Now look up and check. Am I in the center of my foot bar? Head goes down. And let's go back to a press. Try and suction those inner thighs towards each other. We're now going to add a little heel raise. So we lift and lower, bend those knees in. So today, if you're thinking, I really want to work dynamically, maybe move a little quicker. But obviously, don't forget you have to control the sequence. So we lower with resistance. We lift with control. Let's move into some foot pedals. So we pedal from foot to foot. As we transfer, just check your pelvis is nice and level. I'm just going to raise this headrest a bit for me. That's better. And I want you to push through that second foot. So the heel that goes under, people don't think, oh, I've got to push from that. Push from both. The heels meet at the highest point each time. The pelvis is not moving. And then pause, stay here. Now can you raise that other leg to tabletop? In this position, let's take a little hip circle. So 3, 2, 1. Pelvis is still unstable. Go the other way. Maybe the size of a small plate. And then put that foot down, transfer weight, and lower the other heel under. Raise the other knee, and let's circle. 3, 2, 1. Go the other way. 3, 2, 1. Put the foot down, lower both heels under, rise up, come on in. Excellent. Move your shoulders away from your blocks a bit. Now hold them to the posts or the pegs next to your ears. Raise one leg to table, then the second leg to table. Squeeze those knees together if you can. Now move the knees over to one side, take a breath in, and then as you exhale, bring them back through center. Go to the other side. I want us all to be aware that we don't want that opposite shoulder to lift as we go to the side. Maybe that means you've gone too far. I think of pulling those pegs apart to engage my upper back as I do this. Now I want you to come back through center once you've equalized both sides and go for a single leg stretch. So we exhale. You don't have to be doing pointy toes. Sometimes I just like pointing. And then what I'd like us to do is keeping those knees there. Can you bring yourself up? Use a little bit of momentum to lift you up. Bring yourself round. And we're going to change to blue-red or a full and a half spring. Get rid of your other springs. And if you haven't got your loops, collect them already. Place them onto your pegs and then bring yourself down again. So I could have had my straps up there if I wanted to. So reaching those arms long. Firstly, let's just do a little bit of a serratus exercise here. So we want to unplug and plug those shoulders in. So unplug and plug. So keeping that neck nice and long. Lift, lower. Now we want to keep those shoulders stabilized. So you want to just press forwards a hair, if that. So we want connection from the arm to the torso. Now lift one leg to table. Relax the abdominal wall. Keep a neutral pelvis. Raise that second leg. Breathe in. As you exhale, let's start to press down and up. I want that feeling of those ribs shrinking down towards the hips as we press down as well. You're taking the arms to parallel to the ground, should I say. And now the progression is to raise your chest, coming into that resisted curl up. Progression 2, we can take one leg forwards into that single leg stretch. And I'm looking out over my big toes as I do that. I'm sending my ribs towards my hips as I go. I'm breathing out. And then the next progression is going to that hundreds position. Now, this is something you'd only take if you find your lower back is okay. Let's do 2 more. Let's do 1 more. And then slowly bring yourself in. Now we're going to take those feet and place them into the straps one at a time. So find that strap, press forwards to keep your carriage still, and then step into the second one. And let's come into a Pilates V for me. So make sure that lower back is settled. The knees are about the width of the armpits, and you can have the arms down or to the sides. Breathe in. Exhale, press away, and slowly return with resistance. Because we could easily just come all the way in and tuck a bum underneath us, so we don't want that. We do that in short spine, bringing the legs back. But I just want you for now to work on that frog press for me, please. Breathing out as we push away. And I'm going to keep my hands here to just check that I'm not overdoing it. In some schools, you will move your knees in a bit further. And actually, to be fair, that would be good for hip flexion if you're working on your range. Now what I'd like you to is push away, come to parallel, lower the legs, and lift the legs with control. Now place one hand on the upper abdominals and one hand on the lower abdominals, or just the stomach area. And just notice what's happening underneath your hands. We don't want any doming to occur as we lower and lift. Now I want you to place your thumbs on the margin of your ribs and the middle fingers on the hip bones, and that space should remain the same throughout the sequence. So you maintain a natural pocket of air under that lower back, so the pelvis is not following the thigh bones as we do this. Now lower the legs halfway, open them out, close them, and lift them back up. We lower, we open, we close. I do hope someone is drawing breath as we do this. Now I'd like us to lower the legs, circle them around. I like to turn out and then come back up to the top. So parallel, turn out, go round, come back to the top. Pressing, round, up, back to the top. Wonderful. Take the hands back to your sides. Keep those collarbones nice and wide, neck is easy. And now switch. Ensure that we're not going too low, because there's a chance that the lower back might start to arch then. Press your feet forwards into those straps as we do that. Good. And now let's join those circles, top and bottom. I want this little short sequence for you as a, post-work or pre-working day routine if you've got your reform at home. Really good way to start or end your day. And then when you're ready, team, let's bring those legs up to the middle, bend your knees to table, and then bring yourself into a quick butterfly stretch. So the soles of the feet are touching. Now the next layer would obviously be your happy baby stretch, or you could go to wide second. This is quite an extreme version, but if you are happy with that, stay with that, and then press down on those ropes and maybe rock from side to side. These are all quite progressive. These are big progressions here, but you could be here. Knee pain participants prefer to be there because of the angle and the bend in that knee, okay? So maybe have your feet separated there and then just gently pull down on the ropes, keeping the legs where they are. Feel that stretch, flex your feet. Right, so relax, bend those knees in. Now we take the feet out the straps one at a time. Find your bar, it's higher than you think, and the other one. Leaving the loops to the sides, holding onto your carriage, and just rock from side to side. I'm going to roll out the bed towards the wooden wall, and you're going to sit yourselves up. And did we make it? Take off the red. So now you've only got a medium spring on, 50% spring, blue spring. Take a kneel on this side. Now if you have an issue with kneeling, take a towel, pillow, place that underneath your kneecap. I want us to organize our wardrobe and tuck your tailbone gently underneath you, so I'm not aggressively tilting. Imagine your tailbone as a brush and just brush forwards gently. Okay, so now we've got that little bit of a tilt there. Keeping the shoulders and the hips level, turn the palms front, breathe out to slide carriage away and come back in, whilst maintaining that sternal lift. Now, monitor your lumbar spine. So put your hand on your lower back and check, am I hinging? Let's get ready to rumble type of thing. Instagram special type of thing. So keep a really tall posture. If you are desk bound today, or you've just come from sitting a lot, this is for you. You're welcome. Now come on down, come out of that tuck and just bring your forearms down onto the foot bar and slide away to your desired stretch. So hypermobiles could really go wild here, so be careful out there. And keep that knee stacked over the ankle. And now if you're happy to do this, the standing leg, so that's the leg opposite you, that knee is going to roll out. So I'm rolling onto the outside blade of my foot. Feel a difference there. Then slowly draw yourself in and release that. Now take a kneel on top of your machine. Open those knees. So a lot of my class participants, this is what we do a lot of this sort of stuff to wake up. I read my class and I think, They don't look like they're very energetic to start. So we'll start with a lot of mobilization, and then they'll eventually wake up and feel great. So that's what I want. There's no use me pushing you and you're fatigued and then technique is not great. Let's place that left hand on the right hand and press back that bum cheek on the opposite diagonal to the hand that's on top. Revisit child's pose in the middle. Now shoulder pain might not like this, so you've got to be mindful, maybe bend the elbows a little, or hands down on your platform. Go to the other side, so pushing away on that diagonal. So I'm pushing my right glute because it's my right hand and right glute pushing away from each other. Then come back through middle and pull yourself in and step over to your second side. Find that tall posture. Now I know I'm not in your screen so much, so make sure that your leg, your shin is vertical and the knee is stacked over the ankle. Tuck your tailbone ever so slightly. Remember that gentle brush forwards, tailbone swings through legs. And let's exhale, slide away and come back. Now turn your palms facing front. The reason I say this is I find this rolls the shoulders in a bit for me. It may not for you, so go ahead and do what feels good for you. But I'm going to turn my palms facing forward, so externally rotating the upper humerus area. And I'm going to keep my shin vertical. So I'm lucky I've got this little black ball here. So I know I've got to keep my shin there. I'm keeping that little tuck of my tail. I'm opening out the hip on this side. Sternal raise, please. We want a length here. The neck is easy. Shoulders are low. Breathe into your ribs. Now slide away. Bring those forearms down onto your bar. This isn't a gooey stretch. It is a stretch, but we're not gooey. We want to still be, have some engagement there. And just enjoy that. And now roll to the outside blade of that foot, of the standing leg on the ground, the grounded leg. And then slowly bring yourselves in. Great. So I'm going to go into mermaid here. I'm going to lower my foot bar down, just one slot. Some of you may want to keep it up. And let's go. I'm going to stay on my medium spring. Some people do this on a full spring. It's your choice. And we're going to go into that mermaid position. Now, a lot of people cannot sit like this. So maybe you want to put that leg there, or this leg chills out like that, or you could even sit on a box in this position. You see how many options we have. Because we're in external rotation, internal rotation, hip replacements might not find this comfortable, etc. Knees as well. So let's bring this hand forwards of the shoulder. Lift up and out through that spine. We're trying to be as level as possible in the hips as we can for our bodies. But I'm not a perfect Pilates body. I try my best. We keep going. This arm is going out to the side. Now imagine you're holding a little weight in that hand. So there is a gentle engagement under this arm. And we're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, that elbow bends a little. Keep that shoulder at its home. And then we reach up to go into side bend. But we don't drop the head like that. So you've got to keep the head in line with spine. Come back in, grabbing your shoulder rest. Reach this arm up. And then take that side bend. So I'm going to try my best not to rotate. I've got a mirror here to actually see. Oh, yeah. And let's do that again. So we push away. Side bend. So I'm lifting this side towards that wall and opening like a concertina. And then I come back in. And I grab my block. And I lift. And I side bend. Oh, this is delicious. Especially at the end of the day or the beginning. Do it. This arm, we're going to move it round and I'm going to spiral this way. I'm going to have my head in line with my tail, nearly. My chest is down. I'm just not dropping my head through my arms. And I'm going to push and pull. My elbows are slightly lowered. Now I'm going to ask you all to push away to straight. Fan your fingers, heels of hands on bar. And now inhale to lift. And now exhale to lower. So let's lead with that sternal lift. Lead, like you're lifting yourself up out of the swimming pool and then coming back down. Some people will be happier here if you are distorted in your shoulder. You will know, oh, that don't feel right. So come on down to your platform, just or lower on your foot bar, whatever bar you have at home. And now can we stay up there? So the arm closest to you, that arm I'm pulling with, and the other one I'm pushing with. And then I'm going to turn my head. So for me, that is just a delightful extra add-on. Then we go down to come out of this. Now this is the bit everyone always finds confusing. That backhand comes to the middle, grip your bar, revisit side bend, and then lift, grab your block, touch your stopper, reach up before we side bend. Got it? And then come down. Now we're going to turn to the other side, so excuse my back. All we do is flip our legs round, otherwise you give me the 360 break dance. And I love break dance, but I'm away from you now, and you can see how wonky my body is. So you can see this bum cheek is up a bit, so I might have to put something underneath it maybe to just kind of ground me there. So I put a towel there, or a pillow, or a small ball. Lift tall through your spine as best you can for your body. Now plug that shoulder into its home, bend the elbow, foot bar I'm talking about, and now push away on the exhale. Then come back in, grab your block, float up, side bend. Arm, round, up, reach, use the block. I heard a great cue once. As you go for the side bend, drop this hip actively to increase the stretch between the armpit and the hip joint as we do this. So we lengthen, breathe in, exhale, side bend. Oh, that's amazing. Pushing away and then spiral towards your bar. Once again, let's come down for that push and pull. I've taken some good old staple moves here. Have you noticed? Old school. I'm old school. I'm a dinosaur. Okay, so push away to straight. And then from there, lift with the sternum. Lift, 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 lift. Oh, and low, 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 low. I'm going to get rid of that towel now. I don't need it. So lift and lower. Let's breathe in. Let's breathe out. So on the next one, let's stay lifted. Now the arm furthest away from you, I'm pulling. The other one I'm pushing with. And I'm trying to lift more. I'm going to turn to you. Hello. You might be turning away from me now. I can feel that. And then come down. Bring your hand back to the middle. Come back into side bend. And then bring yourself up for that counter. Reach up. Side bend. Hold, hold, hold. And then release that. So I'm going to flip myself to face you. And I'm just going to sit on my reformer. And you're going to face me as well. So let's add a full spring so it doesn't move. Well, just to keep it stable. So sit back for me on your carriage. And the leg closest to the foot bar. Can you cross that over for me? And then wrap this hand around. And then just use the other hand as a little kickstand. And twist. So I'm getting a bit of glute here. I didn't do scooters today. This was more restorative mobility. Okay, so sorry if I disappointed you. Let's do the other side. My class hates scooters, but I love them. Sit up nice and tall. Lengthen. Drop your chin in a bit. Feel your bum cheek stretch, yeah? Come back to me. And then let's just take a little reach up, take a side bend, and then do the other side. Just feel how that feels now. Upper back stretch, especially if you get a lot of trap tension, trapezius tension there. And then you can have your fingertips on the carriage behind you. Just lift your sternum. Gorgeous. And now I'm going to have this hand on that knee, and I'm going to twist away. And then do the other side. And give a little shake out. And that's my little go-to mobility reform. I'm hoping you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for your time today. My name's Adrian once again, and I look forward to hearing your comments. Take care.